So we have young people that maybe want to go on to be in the armed forces, that want to have careers in music, in drama, and it's about using those skills of being really dynamic, being able to think out of the box, being able to think differently about things, and just having that energy. So lots of young people with ADHD have got lots of energy and enthusiasm, and it's about channeling that in a really positive way.
Your diagnosis of ADHD came about in a slightly different way.
Yeah, mine kind of came about more from things that happened through my job, and so when I was training to be a teacher, that was the point when I started to notice that things I hadn't struggled with before became really difficult, because that job required so many different things to be done all the time. That organisation, yeah, it was really hard, and so as I was training, I got more and more anxious about the job and why, and frustrated that I couldn't do it based on what I thought I was capable of. Yeah. And that was when it kind of became clear that it was that I couldn't quite reach the potential that I thought I was capable of, and couldn't get there. I hadn't struggled too much in school because everything I think had been really structured.
I think living in a household with me,
yeah,
we were used to sequencing things. You know, your dad was great at making sure, friends of mine were great at making sure I signed the slips for you to go on a trip, or...
Oh, so you had people who helped you to remember things,
people all around.
And it was kind of automatic.
Just helped and gave me things that made it a bit easier.
ADHD doesn't mean that you haven't got the skills to be successful. It's that you've got a different set of skills, and it's how you can use that productively in your future.
And you just have to get on with it. You can't, just turn around and say, well, I have ADHD, I'm not doing that. That's not how the world works, but that, there's a way around it, and I've asked for support. It's been quite interesting, hasn't it, to kind of speak to my employers and things like that, and advocate for yourself is something I've kind of learned how to do now as well. Yeah. And that's been helpful, having you there to say, well, actually, you're fair in asking about that, but,
some of those
you're going to have to adapt to that, and you have to be really realistic about what you can expect people to accommodate and not. So me seeing that in children in my job also helps me to see, well, what's fair for me to ask for then as well. Yeah. And that's been quite a tough thing, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And you, I suppose, we've both had to be a bit brave with it and turn around and say, I need this, when really we don't want to, and you just want to blend in, and you have to kind of stand out and say,
hide it all away and pretend it wasn't there. But living with ADHD is about living with ADHD and showing the world it can be a positive thing and a good thing, not a negative. We just need a little bit of an adaptation.